Good afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for August 31st, 2021, 3 p.m. Eastern. We will be having a Time for Change call tomorrow night at 9 p.m. We're going to, which is very important for the civilization, we're going to talk about the ego. Nothing real can be threatened. Nothing unreal exists. Course in Miracles. Before something radically new is birthed, the old must loosen its grasp and die. With any massive changes in this life, there often arises this feeling of gripping on tightly to what we once knew as stable and true, or in other words, the past. This white-knuckled grasp onto the past only stems from a sensation of fear for embracing a new future, a better future, one that is truly free from fear. Fear always comes from an attachment to that which is not real. The mind thinks that it will not survive if it lets go and trusts in the future. The truth is that we all of us are a soul, an infinite eternal being that will never cease. Our souls cannot be threatened, harmed, or truly impacted by anything of this world. In this higher truth, we have nothing to fear. If we believe that these are the end times, we must also initiate the birth of something new. We cannot truly end an old, dilapidated society without a new system taking its place. Yet, we need to be fearless and true to what our hearts want to create. What do you want this new experience and this new earth to be? Any downturn in the economy is simply the financial roller coaster gaining momentum for an ascending experience. The most enlightened way to respond to the coming shifts ahead is to remain open-minded. Be inspired by the new ideas that are created, for they will provide a sustainable, healthy life for our children's children's children. Think not about the instant gratification. Think about how you can make the planet a better place for future generations. Think about your great-great-great-grandchildren. This is your opportunity to evolve spiritually and recycle the old vehicle to invent a new paradigm of environmental, social, and economic wholeness, one that we desire. Now, I'm going to share 3 steps that you can take, we all can take, to change the world, create a positive shift in our energy, and manifest a more enlightened way of being in this world. 1, be of heart-filled service to everyone. Be of heart-filled service to everyone. One of the most powerful gifts we can give the world is being of service to another without expecting anything in return. If you expect something in return, it is your ego mind that is the master. When you give freely to another, the universe gives back tenfold to you. Now, you don't do that. You don't give to another because, okay, well, if I give another, then I get tenfold. You do it because you want to do it. You do it from the heart. It could be in the smile of a child, or a financial gift, or 30 new clients for your business. Whatever gift that comes from your heart is going to have value. Whatever it is, it's going to have value if it comes from your heart, or when it comes from your heart. We are all deeply interconnected. When we choose to serve someone from generosity and loving kindness, we bring greater well-being not only to the person that we serve, but to all beings on this planet, including ourselves. Focusing exclusively only on our own lives is actually a form of scarcity thinking. Now, we may have not helped out our fellow man because we believed we didn't have enough time or enough money or knowledge to support the other. The truth is that it's the best feeling in the world to reach out and help someone in need instead of spending your time indulging, for instance, in the dull buzz of entertaining yourself in front of the TV. We all have something precious and unique to offer our fellow human beings. And you know what it is? It's you. Take this moment to ask yourselves how you may be of service this week to your family, friends, and larger community. Try something new, something outside of your comfort zone. Perhaps you could give away something you're not using in your storage, yet someone else could use. Or can share your knowledge on a particular subject that would bring a smile to their face. What ways can we lend a helping hand in someone's life? Just do something extra special for one person today and notice how it makes you feel, even if it is as simple as a few words of encouragement. It's time to put away any of the bad, selfish, me-centered actions from the past and adopt the attitude of supporting someone who really could benefit from your help. It is only through bonding together and serving each other as a truly united community that we will be able to create an enlightened community and establish a permanent state of well-being on this planet. Next suggestion, share your divine creativity. The essence of who we are is pure creativity. This is the energy that spreads life on this planet, bursts new ideas, and is that same energy that makes you feel inspired to live your best possible life. This creative energy is divine. It comes from the highest spiritual energy in the universe. It is the life force of life. It is creating new babies, new dreams, new blood cells, new love-making experiences, and new sunsets at the end of every day. If we quiet our chattering minds for just a moment, we can feel it. The divine creative flow is right here in this moment. This moment is where we will find all the solutions to this internal shift that we need to move forward and manifest whatever we desire into our lives. Take time each day to quiet your mind in meditation and ask your higher self for guidance. Ask for the kind of emotional support and creative solutions that you need. Empty your mind from reaching for the answers and just wait. A lot of us have a tendency to hurry. Push. When we receive some deep, inspiring guidance, write down all the creative ideas you have and then see which ones resonate the most with your heart. And number 3, spread abundance consciousness. Spread abundance consciousness. Spread abundance consciousness. What if your main job on this planet right now was to tap into your highest abundance consciousness and spread it as far as you could around the world? What would you do? What does abundance consciousness look like for you? The truth is that we all live in an abundant universe where there is more than plenty for all of us, for everyone. When we think abundantly, we feel abundant and create more abundance in our lives. But when we think scarcity, we create more scarcity in our lives. Our energy fields magnetize more abundance, and thus we create an example for others on how to be. Abundance thinking is expansive by its very nature. The more we believe in abundance, the more we automatically manifest. It might look like new creative ideas and solutions, new opportunities, or business that supports prosperity and well-being for all. Some of the best creative solutions are only born out of abundance consciousness. These greater solutions are what will solve the challenges our world is currently facing. It is only through thinking abundantly that we will break the scarcity spell that we have been fed to believe and uncover solutions that naturally create abundance for all living beings on this planet. So for this week, I invite you to explore a new way to approach your relationship with this world, one that will ensure positive prosperity into your future. It all begins with accepting the current life challenging situation you are in as it is, and knowing that this challenge was placed there on purpose for you to overcome. Remember, we are here to enlighten our lives and discover at the core of our human nature that we are a powerful, manifesting being who can create miracles. What this means is to reveal the higher and deeper truth of who and what we really are. This will create an entirely new experience in this world for everyone. It is all on how we maneuver. It is the heart, mind, that oversees the ego mind. Most people on this planet, it is the ego mind that oversees the heart mind. And here's something that people have never really thought about. You can't be poor unless you've been rich. Because unless you've been rich and then you're poor, how are you going to know what poor is? You don't, no matter what you're experiencing. You can't compare it with your own self-experience. So you've got to hit a wealth level before you can be poor. It's really messed up in a lot of ways on this planet. And abundance thinking is, we can say to ourselves, is mandatory in a very kind, loving way. And serving each other it's a natural state of being. And people always think, well, it's concerning money. You could give someone a smile. You could give someone a hug. You can encourage them, support them. There's just a plethora of ways to spread abundance consciousness. Because we're all creating a new earth. Some are aware of it, some aren't. And we're all doing it together. We're not doing it separately because there's no way we're doing it separately. We're doing it together. Each one of us is visualizing and looking through the heart mind, not the ego mind. We aren't looking for gain. We aren't looking for investment. We aren't looking to make a lot of money. We're looking to serve one another. It's no longer going to be, what can I get out of this? What's in it for me? I'm not going to do this for you unless I'm assured that I'm going to get something in return. And understand that it's interesting because the word humanitarian has been really muffled for a long time. A humanitarian means it's someone who gives all the time without question, without expectation, without distrust. And this is how the ego mind plays on all of us on this planet on a day-to-day basis. If you had $1 zillion, what would you do? How would you share it for others? And only in the positive vernacular, not the negative. Because you go into the negative, the ego mind has a field day. So it's spreading abundant consciousness. Sharing your divine creativity. Be of heart-filled service to everyone. Those three things. Be of heart-filled service to everyone. Share your divine creativity. Spread abundance consciousness. This is how we affect the one. Together. This is how we do it. This is how we shift the vibrational frequencies of the planet, because it affects everything. All of us intending, visualizing, affects everything. And obviously, with as many on these meditations every day and in them and participating and consciously aware, we're affecting a lot of parts of ourselves in a big way, massive. So if you will, go to the place where you're not going to be interrupted, and I'm sure we all are. And the first thing for any of us ever to do in the beginning of anything, meditation like this, is to relax our bodies. Genuinely relax our bodies. I've had people say, well, I'm really relaxed, but they're not. And you do this, you relax the body by letting go. That's scary for a lot of people. Even though the things that they're tightly holding on to don't serve them any good at all. They just serve them more stress, worry, fear, anxiety. So you let them go. You face off with them. And how do people face off with things? Well, what your greatest fear, you turn, instead of ignoring it, you turn, invite that greatest fear on the couch next to you or in your favorite chair, and you carry on conversation with that greatest fear. It's the only way. Then you will find that greatest fear will be no more. But the ego mind will find another one to replace it almost immediately. So this is what we do. So we eliminate these illusions, which is fear, and the fear that we have of things, whatever it may be in our lives. And as we practice it more and more, we begin to realize is that these don't stay. They're not concrete. They're illusions. You can walk through them, but it's the ego mind that's playing the game on all of us. So when that body relaxes, because it's a magnet, it's like a sponge or magnet, and everything, it absorbs everything, whether it's conscious or unconscious that you're aware of, but it absorbs everything. Every conversation, every interaction, every emotion and feeling, it absorbs it, and it stores it in the subconscious mind, the library, your private library. That's where you go up down to the different shelves, no one's in there but you, and you pick what you want to reminisce about or go into the past about or cross-reference your present day to the past day and then view a possible future day. See? So the body goes into turmoil, anxiety, stress, and fear, worry. And so since the ego mind is so insecure, it's constantly creating more worries and more stresses and more fears. So when the body relaxes, you get used to it, though, which is good. You become like automatic. You say, okay, all right, I have these fears. I'm going to just literally face them and talk with them to determine for myself just where these fears are coming from. And so then I'll mitigate the fears. They'll be gone. And sure, it's not a big deal. Will others come in? Most likely. But I will do the same with those. And after a while, you'll just realize that Any fear that comes in, you can abate. You walk through it. Most of us will ignore it, run from it. Okay? Try not to pay any attention to it. You've probably been in conversations with people where your friends or something will say, well, why don't you just let go of it? Why do you keep fixating on it? Why do you keep talking about it? Let it go. Well, I've tried, but it's really hard. It just keeps coming back. It's because you face it. Face it is the only way. And the body responds quite nicely to all these fears and everything that the ego mind creates, all these programmed thoughts, tens of millions of them. How can you not embrace some? And none of them are ours. So when that body relaxes, what happens? What happens when the body relaxes? Moves out of the mind. It stills the mind because it's no longer in the mind and the ego or the subconscious mind. And all the chatter ends. All the noise, all the chatter ends. Period. It's not there. And you're not thinking. The body's not thinking, it's not worrying, it's not stressing, it's not fearing, it's not wondering. It's just being. Totally being. That's when the body becomes light. Like a feather almost, floating. We've had those experiences, like I used as the hammock or the boat on the placid lake. It's just how you visualize it for yourself. On that total relaxation, you dump it all no matter what it is. You don't hold on to it. You look at it, you say, does it serve me the greater good? No, it doesn't. So therefore, I'm not going to give it any more energy or time. And, it is true. Whatever happens, happens. Que sera, sera. Whatever will be, will be. For all of us. And the thing is that it's up to us to intend and create what that's going to be to a certain extent. Obviously, we're not going to continually, none of us would design a life with no twists and turns. You know how boring that'd get? You'd know exactly every single waking moment, every single time, exactly what was going to occur. Yeah, it'd be fun at first, wouldn't it? It'd really be a breakout experience. But then after a while, you go, man, this is boring. I know everything is going to happen every day, all the time, period. And I'm creating it, so there's no surprises or anything. So when your body relaxes, you're in the now. Completely in the now. And that's when you can communicate with the God that you are. That's when you can listen. And eventually, you will get an answer in some way, shape, or form. But you're not attached, and you have no expectations. You just know. And we're in the now. How are we in the now? Well, we focus on our breath, which is the now. Most of us don't focus on the breath. In fact, most of us take our breath for granted. Some of us have to use machines to help us breathe at night to keep us breathing. Isn't that amazing? And yet the breath is what sustains this body to allow the soul to inhabit it. Without the breath, could any of us continue in these bodies without the breath? No. There's no way. We would have to leave the body. The breath relaxes us, eases us, strengthens us, focuses us. It does a lot for the body. Now, some of us, though, all of us we have these reminiscings. A song could come on, you could be somewhere, and then this feeling comes over you. In some cases, it's déjà vu. It's you're in your subconscious mind reviewing one of your books of some of your past experiences. Okay? And some of us will venture off into the future and we will wonder, which is great, dream, imagine. But then some of us will go into the past. And the past, we all tap on our experience from the past. But we don't stay there. Some people stay there. And it is a dank place. It's dead. There's no life. There's no movement. There's no air movement. It's foggy. It's just, it's like musty dank, like an elephant graveyard. But people stay there, and they stay there for quite some time. And maybe a little bit of consciousness, but mostly unconscious, where they end up staying there so long that they bring it into a future that doesn't exist, create the future from that past, and relive that past and that future. That's why a lot of people will say, no matter what we do, we always seem to end up here. Going into the future, we're creating the future in the now. So when you go into a future that's not there, but that's why it's empty, and you keep wondering, why isn't this happening, that happening, how come this isn't happening, when am I going to meet this, when am I going to get a better job, when am I going to make more money, da-da-da-da-da. Goes on and on and on. So you can see how a lot of the subterfuge would be eliminated for us to practice being in the now and the now only. It gets a little, challenges the ego mind. You can tell that when, someone says, well, what are your plans 5 years from now? And you look at them and say, I don't have any plans 5 years from now. I live in the now. I make plans 5 years from now. How do I know I'll be there to enjoy those 5 years of planning? You don't. Why would you plan them? You don't know. So you stay in the now. You silence the mind and the ego by being in the now. It works every time. Now, some of us will wander off. None of us are exempt from it. We could be focused on something really, really important to us. And then we end up wandering off. We wander off. And these thoughts are all programmed thoughts. They're programs. And sometimes we'll grab onto that cloud, just like clouds passing in the sky, and we'll wander off in these thoughts, which aren't ours. So when that happens, it is imperative that we are gentle, kind, generous, and humble. And then 24/7, the highest and the deepest, purest gratitude. So when we identify, okay, I'm wandering off, not a biggie. Focus on my breath, I'll be in the now. Every single time. And it's a practice, like everything else. And it's how much we desire to engage in that practice to master the ego mind. Now, when you really do know that you're not the body, okay, and you do it through the heart mind, not the ego mind, that you're not the body, that means you can see and watch and feel you can literally explore everything in the body, which we all do. Because in these bodies that we're in, there's a line of light. It's made up of 7 wheels of light. And it goes from the center of the body, from the tailbone, coccyx, all the way up to the top of the head. They're all different colors, but they're not physical, so to speak, where you can pick them up and juggle them and move them. They're etheric, spiritual, as the gods that we are, pure energy. So what we do is those are energy vortexes that we, the God within each body, travel through. And those connect to all the emotions, all the organs, everything, right down to the quark, the quantum quark in the body. And you can see where we will go when we choose to, where we will go when we discover who and what we are, and we discover the relationship of the body and the God, and that we will heal the body instantaneously whenever we choose. We know that the soul of the God, the pure consciousness that we are, we enter the body, we power the body, everything comes up and runs. The soul is heaven, body's earth. Heaven can be many things. So we're literally heaven on earth. And those of us that are consciously aware to a certain extent know that every step we take, we're creating paradise. It's a fact. Not only that, we're shining our light outward 360 degrees, 24/7. And that light emanates from the God force love light energy within each and every single one of us. The God, the pure consciousness, the deep eternal love, gratitude. It's flooding all the time. It's flooding all the time. Everyone, all life, the highest supreme value in the universe, on and above and below this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya, and this now. It's constant. What we're doing now is we're amping it up consciously. Now, all of us know that we have parts of ourselves. Now, some of the parts of us are asleep. They are out like a light. It's totally asleep. We have other parts that are awake. Now, obviously, we communicate with the ones that are awake, so we call upon them to participate in this meditation with us. You see, that includes that's basically all the light energy beings and all that there is and ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. And that includes the archangels, the cherubim, the seraphim, the archetypes, ascended masters, Kuan Yin, Maitreya, Buddha, Lakshmi, Ganesh, Gaia, Saint Germain, Christ, Moria, Abundantia, Pel, Thoth, Yahweh, Yeshua, many, many, many more. All the inhabitants of inner earth, hollow earth, Agartha, and beneath her. All the galactics, off-worlders, celestials. All of our loved ones who have ascended out of body in this lifetime and all lifetimes that we've inhabited. And all the light energy beings that are on this planet, in and on, above and below it. And that includes the ones that we're, somewhat familiar with: the fairies, the sprites, the elves, the gnomes, the dwarves, the trees, the trolls. The elementals: earth, air, water, fire, ether, wood, mermaid, dolphin, the whale, the pegasus, the unicorn, the centaur, the minotaur, and many, many, many more. With these eyes, with these physical bodies, we only see 1% of what is. And they come in shapes, colors, sizes, forms, configurations that we've never seen. Now, the archangels, they're a civilization that vibrated at a different frequency than we do. That's why we don't see them like we see each other. We interact with them all the time. We talk with them, meet with them. Sometimes we marry them and never know it. But they're always communicating with us. They've got one main major message. And it's a good one. And they deliver it in a plethora of ways. And basically, isn't it magna glorious, spectacular, stupendous, and marvelous? To be alive in these bodies. And that is bliss. Tens of thousands can surround any one of us at any one time. Because of their vibrational frequency, they can hold a large number in a small area. Ascended masters, they've mastered ascending into physical form, out of physical form. It's like opening and closing a door. It's effortless. No fear, no anxiety. They do it all the time. Now they hold pure consciousness God form. We have ascended into physical form to master physical form, create our experiences to perfect our creation. All the inhabitants of inner earth, hollow earth, Agartha, and beneath earth. All the off-worlders. Celestials, galactics. Now understand that all of these light energy beings that we are in the Gugaplexes. One Gugaplex fills this entire universe with not even a square inch of sacred space to spare. They're in trillions of Gugaplexes from trillions of universes. And they aren't all awake, by far. Now, the ones that we're familiar with are the Pleiadians, the Sirians, the Arcturians, the Andromedans, the Felines, Zeta Reticuli, the Nords, the Greys, the Draco, the Reptilian. The Golden Pyramid, the Avian. Numerous more. Over 1,000 different species and civilizations travel through the solar system every day. Trillions throughout the universes every day. They've been assisting us in our evolution, enlightenment, ascension, freeing ourselves from our own self-imposed bondage and slavery. And out of all of these light energy beings, only those who are consciously aware that they are of and from the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest, deepest, purest of the purest, purest, eternal love, gratitude, and peace can be with us in this meditation. In the forming of this circle of light, complete liberation of this planet, Earth, Gaia, Arya, in this now. And they are all with us now, consciously aware of who and what they are to a certain extent. Arm in arm, hand in hand, in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence, prosperity, abundance. And we're all one. And we're all love. And we're all God. And our God force love light energy is in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. And it continues to intensify. And it continues to expand. We immediately form a circle of light around the equator of this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya, and this now. This light emanates from the God force love light energy within each and every one of us. It is so brilliant that it grays out the darkness of sacred space. It would take 1 billion trillion suns to even come close to its brightness. And this brightness is the purest of the purest, pure, deepest of the deepest, deepest, eternal love, gratitude, and peace. And we are flooding this planet, all life, the highest supreme value in universes, 24/7 with this massive beaming of bright, white, loving energy, saturating everyone, all of our brothers and sisters, asleep or awake, everything. Everything and everything, nothing and nothing. We begin to ascend above the planet. We're immediately met with this massive ocean of glitter. It's everywhere. Well, there's hundreds of millions of us consciously aware. And it's flashing all over the place. It's a multitude of colors we've never seen before, flashing and beaming. We zero in on the reflective point, which is little tiny microscopic edge mirrors. We go in them and we discover that all of us always are either teaching each other, learning from each other, or both. Always. Someone can come into your life for a second and there's something there. Always. Something that will come in that maybe you forgot that they remind you of, and that's why you're always thanking every single one of them. We're immediately met with the emerald green flaming healing light of Archangel Raphael. This is a column of light that we created that reminds every single one of us that we are the power of healing. We are then met with the violet, blue, purple flaming light of Archangel Michael. This is a column of light that we created that reminds us all of our omnipotent power, strength, and resolve. We are then met with the white fire. This is a column of light that we created that reminds us all that from head to toe, inside and out, we are imbued with a white fire armor. It is a spirit, etheric energy. It is massive. It emanates from the God Force Love Light energy within each and every one of us. Remember, it is more powerful than a billion trillion suns. So, no attachments, no demon possessions, no lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies ever. Yet, only you have the power that if you decide to lower your vibrational frequency low enough, whether consciously or unconsciously, hate, anger, greed, manipulation, deception, fear, hurry, envy, anxiety, stress, worry, you will lower your vibrational frequency low enough. You'll create a breach in your white fire armor, enough so to allow the lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies to come flooding in. Then, the possibility of demon possession. Many things. Now, if you do decide to do this, you are immediately met with two columns, back to back, of light that we've created. The first one is the purple transmuting flame. This is a column of light that we created to remind us all that we can bring in the purple transmuting flame. We can transmute all of these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies into neutral light substance, sending them to pure consciousness where they are no more. Immediately following the violet ray. This is a column of light that we all created that reminds us all we can bring in the violet ray, we can cleanse and purify the area where these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies were, sealing the breach in our white fire armor and restoring our vibrational harmony with the highest of the highest high, the deepest of the deepest deepest, and the purest of the purest purest. Eternal love, gratitude, and peace. We are then met with the golden white pink light. This is the column of light that we all created to remind ourselves that we are the sun, the sunlight. We are the sunsets and the sunrises. We are the rain and the rainbows, clouds in the sky. We are the oceans, the rivers, the lakes, the streams, the trees, the forests, the soils, the animals. We are everything, and everything is us. So the next time you view a sunset, a sunrise, ocean front, mountain view, rainbow. It is you. It's all of us. God within you. The divineness, the majesty, the beauty, the perfection. You. Always has been, always will be, ever, beyond, and forever. And if you choose to look at a sunset and call it beautiful, then you've missed the understanding that it is you. We continue to ascend above the planet. Some of us step outside our physical form, hover effortlessly above them. If we're carrying physical form. And we do that because we can. We immediately come upon this massive crystalline tower that we created. It's larger than the solar system. In the center of the tower is this massive oblong sphere. And in the center of the sphere is this huge golden white bowl of light. It is surrounded by numerous bands, rings of multicolored light, endless. And they're all sending, you can feel it, this kind of an electric field of energy, penetrating us all, head to toe, inside and out. And the bowl, the golden white bowl of light, is the highest, purest, deepest, eternal love. And then the rings follow with the highest of the deepest, purest, eternal gratitude, peace, gentleness, kindness, generosity, humbleness, well-being, bliss, joy, tranquility, benevolence, great prosperity, great abundance, unending. And then when we look a little bit closer, it is us. It is the God within us. At the top of this crystalline tower, we designed it so that the golden ocean can come cascading down 360 degrees, as it's doing right now, flooding all of us, head to toe, inside and out. All life, the highest supreme value in the universe. And we are drops of this golden ocean. We carry the essence, hold the essence of this golden ocean. Golden ocean is a drop, drops of the golden ocean. And the only illusion is separation. Because there is none. We see our meditative sphere at set center circle. We created this sphere over 3.5 years ago. Holds well over 1,500 of our meditations in perpetual motion. Hundreds of millions of us, over 1 billion of us, gathered on and off world, consciously aware to a certain extent, every day, 7 days a week, of the highest high intent of all the meditations that don't dissipate, don't weaken. They continue to intensify and they continue to expand. Flooding everyone, all life on this planet, on it, in it, above it, below it. Highest supreme value in the universe, nonstop. And then the intent of the one, which is all of us, of the life, this life, of the new earth, of which what is it that we desire? What life do we desire to experience? That's why this meditative sphere can be seen, heard, and felt in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, forever. That's why it continues to intensify, it continues to expand. We are creating the future, unprecedented in the history of this planet, and the higher vibrational frequencies. They won't stop there. They will continue to ascend. I'll join you in the meditation and return to close us out. Take an easy breath in through the nose, and an easy breath out the mouth. Move slowly and easily. Remember the difference? The difference is not in possessions. The difference is in possessiveness. A simple person is not one who possesses nothing. A simple person is one who has no possessiveness, who never looks back. This simplicity cannot be practiced. This simplicity can come only as a consequence of innocence. If you repress, and that's what cultivation is, then it will start coming in another form from somewhere else. You will become more and more complex in this way, more and more cunning and calculating in this way, more disciplined, more with a character which people respect and honor. If you want to enjoy your ego, the best way is to be a holy man. But if you really want to celebrate existence, the best way is to be absolutely ordinary, utterly ordinary, and live the ordinary life with no pretensions. Live moment to moment. That is innocence. And innocence is enough. Don't try to become simple. Millions of people have tried, and they have not become simple at all. On the contrary, they have become very, very, very complex, entangled in their own jungle, in their own ideas. Get out of the mind. That is innocence. Be a no mind. That is innocence. And everything else follows. And when everything else follows, it has a beauty of its own, cultivated. It is plastic, synthetic, not natural. When it comes uncultivated, it is a grace. It is a benediction. Take this with you for the rest of the day, into the evening and night, and into the following morning. And we'll return here Wednesday, September 1st, 3 p.m. Eastern, to continue our Global Guided Meditation call, and 9 p.m. Eastern, the time for change.